Are you thinking about moving to Suffolk, Virginia? Perhaps you're curious what the cost of living is in Suffolk? Well, if so, this video is for you and it starts right now. Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate in the 757. My name is Jennifer Stimpson. I'm a local realtor here in Hampton Roads, and today I'm going to be going through the cost of living in Suffolk, Virginia. Perhaps you are considering a move down to Hampton Roads. Perhaps you've gotten orders out this way. For whatever reason that you found my channel, welcome. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please take a quick second and hit that subscribe button so that you can see all the different videos. We shoot videos each and every week about different things to do throughout Hampton Roads, pros and cons of different cities within Hampton Roads, and sharing information about the neighborhoods, because as your realtor, I want you to get a great overview of all that we have to offer. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit that little bell so that you're notified each and every week when we upload a new video. So before we get to the cost of living numbers, let me just tell you a little bit about Suffolk itself. Did you know that Suffolk is the largest city by land mass in all of Virginia? I didn't even know that myself. But let me tell you, it is big, and it took me several outings to gather all of my video. Suffolk is big. And it also, have any of you ever had Planters peanuts? Well, if you have, you've seen the mascot on the outside of the packaging, Mr. Peanut. And I found out Mr. Peanut was birthed here in Suffolk. A young schoolboy entered a contest in the early 1900s when they were trying to come up with a mascot for Planters peanuts. So yeah, little interesting tidbit there. All right, so I want you all to know any of my cost of living videos come from a resource that you can find online at bestplaces.net. And they use a score of 100 and look at cities all over the US and break it down into various categories. And then they are able to say whether this city scored, 100. Do they fall under 100, meaning that they are less expensive to live in that city than the national average, or do they score above 100, thus meaning they're a little bit more expensive to live in versus that national average. So it's a great resource, and I highly recommend you check them out. All right, so let's dive into some of the numbers. Suffolk was given the score overall of 101.7. So, just a smidge over that national average, and that full overview covers all the different areas that we are going to discuss next. All right, so let's start with housing, because I think that is kind of the big one, the most important to know up front. And it's good news. We scored in Suffolk 101.1, so just slightly above the national average. The median home price here is $233,700. And, I think that's really a good estimate of what you will find when you begin looking. There are some great attached homes, townhomes, condos that fall even a little bit under that median home price that are excellent options for first-time home buyers. If you're looking for a detached single-family home in that median home price, you can find them. It may be a little bit older of a home. It's probably a ranch, and it's probably a little bit smaller. So just something to consider there. But yes, there are some great townhomes that you can find around $200,000 to $220,000. They're probably going to have an HOA fee, but they're fairly decent size, 1,500 to 1,800 square feet, built in the late 90s, and look fairly decent inside. So I think that's a great option. If you are looking into single family homes, you're probably looking in at least 300,000 and up to find ones that are a little bit larger, 1,600 to 2,600 square feet or so, depending on how many bedrooms you might need. There are also some detached condos throughout Suffolk as well, and those start right around 250,000 to 275, and again can be decent size, but you will have some condo fees to add in, and those can vary. I've seen some around $40, and then you probably have an HOA fee on top of that. That's where that could be $50 to $80 in addition to your condo fee. But there are some kind of fees that inch up higher into the $200 range, some upwards of $300 a month on top of your mortgage payments. So you just have to kind of keep that in mind if you're considering purchasing a condo. And of course, the prices go up from there, right? Could start in the 250 range for a single family home. But Suffolk has some great neighborhoods, well established, and new homes that are going to be in the 350 to 500 range, and some that are close to the water that just are amazing, then yeah, you're talking into the million plus range. Now, if you're looking to rent versus buy, I would say you're probably looking at least $1,000 per month to rent, upwards of about $2,000 a month. And it all depends on how many bedrooms and how many baths, how many square footage. So that's why there's kind of that range. I would say that it's still a great time to potentially buy. Interest rates are so low, you could, in fact, own a home for about what you'd be paying in rent. So if you're ready to, stop renting and paying someone else's mortgage and find out whether or not you could potentially buy a home, you can give me a call. Let's discuss it. Let me connect you to a great lender who can walk you through the cost of buying and find out, it really could be more within your reach than you even realize. All right, so now that you know a general idea of the home costs or the rental costs, let's talk about some other areas. First up being utilities. Bestplaces.net gave us a score of 98.1, which is great because again, we're a little bit under that national average. All right, so for groceries, we scored a 98.3. And to give you a feel of what kind of stores you will find in Suffolk, they have Walmart, Kroger, Harris Teeter, Food Lion, and Lidl. Those are all pretty common in Suffolk. But also keep in mind, it's a little bit different since Suffolk is so big and, there's lots of country roads. It's kind of like clusters, right? You kind of hit an area that has a few shopping stores, maybe a grocery store or two, and some neighborhoods around it. And then you might have another long stretch of some other country roads before you kind of hit another cluster, a few more stores, maybe a Kohl's mixed in, a few shopping centers per se, in addition to some more neighborhoods. So it's kind of has that feel because it is so big. Things are kind of spread out. It's not as convenient as what you may be used to. I don't know. It depends on where you're coming from. In Chesapeake, you can find grocery stores and more shopping tighter, closer together. So in Suffolk, there's just a little more added space because you're kind of out in the country. You've got a lot of land out there. All right, so for transportation, Suffolk scored a 104.4. And again, I think that just goes back to the size of Suffolk, the amount of land mass, and just needing to drive a little bit further perhaps to get around, depending on your work commute might play a factor as well. All right, so a few other things to mention. The average family income per household is actually a little bit higher than the national average. Our unemployment rate for Suffolk is a little bit less than the national average. Suffolk hit 3.1% compared to the 3.7% nationally. And last year, the job growth in Suffolk went up by like 1.3%. So all great things to know. So great stats across the board for Suffolk. Where did Suffolk stand compared to where you currently live? Go to bestplaces.net, put in your city, and do a little comparing. Hampton Roads is a great area. If you're curious about Norfolk, Chesapeake, or Virginia Beach, check out those videos. They're on my channel as well. You can see the cost of living compares from one city to the next if you're looking to move out this way. And again, if you are headed this way, please reach out. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, or give me send me an email. Whatever you prefer, just reach out. Let me see how I can assist you as you're looking to move out this way. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified. And if you enjoy this video, help me out. Click that like button so I can get it in front of more people. All right, until next time, my friends, have a great day.